This is typical of so many leaders today. They are leaders, but they are in leadership for feasting. They are in leadership for enjoyment. They are in leadership for pleasure. So we see them flying from one part of the nation to another. You see them in Calabar today. By 8 a.m. tomorrow, they say, we are in New York. By 6 p.m. tomorrow, they say, we are in Switzerland. What are you doing? Just wasting your country's money. Woe unto you. The woe comes when leadership fails. A lot of leaders do not take sacred their leadership responsibility. They do not. A lot of men are children. And so the family is in a war situation because the leaders are children. The leaders, there are some men and women that are like this. They are not thinking how the family will move forward. This night, this evening, now, they are in a beer parlor somewhere, taking pepper soup, taking beer, 3 bottles of beer, and their family have not eaten. Is this not an explanation of such thing? Woe unto you when your leader is a child, your prince is feast. Some of the men you see early in the morning in bars, they did not ask what their family are doing. Those are children wearing long trousers. Woe unto you when leadership fails. Because it is children that don't care about the future. Have you ever seen a child that is bothered about how next year will be like? The moment a child starts thinking and worrying about next year, he's no more a child. So whenever you are a leader and you are not concerned about the future of the nation, the family, the organization you are leading, you are a child. And woe unto that organization. There are some CEOs that are like that. Woe unto that company. Because their owners are busy feasting. How much they there? How much they there? How much don't enter? Some owners of school are like that. I found myself around the school and I noticed the way they were operating and I said, oh, this place will soon close. Practically, I know. Because when the owner of the school is coming and asking accountants, hafa, and collect, the child will say, hey, mommy, I want to read this. You go and collect from cashier. I mean, everything goes to cashier. You know such a place, you know. I mean, the organization just runs anyhow. Why wouldn't they owe salary at the end of the month? When their leader is a child and feast in the morning. Exactly the problem, you know, is here that I noticed that when it's 5 o'clock, you just take note. From 5 o'clock, check most of the buses that are moving. They are always in a haste. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are always in a haste. You know why they are in a haste? In fact, when passengers come that time, they are rushing to go and pick the person. They are picking the babe they are taking to Maria. How much did they make for the day? Am I saying the truth? Come on, is it not true? Am I lying? One of the worst mistakes you can do in this town is buy bus and give somebody here that they should drive it. Because as soon as it's 5 o'clock, now, you know, I asked one day, I said, please, I want to understand you. Every evening, practically, you carry one. I know one that used to carry like 3 in a day. 3 per day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's not, I know practically. And he drives bus too. Question. How much are you making? You people sat down in the bar there. Plate of pepper soup is how much? 2,000. Plate for 2. How much is that? Drink, how much? 115. Now, you finish. Abi, when you finish, you people now go for happy ending. Is that one free? The person you bought pepper soup for, won't she go home with something too? You rob my... Okay, it's 25. At the end of the day, you tell the owner of the bus, hey, one part spoil. You know, as I was driving, as I just reached Calabar like this, I just hear... That's why I can't stay there all the money. And so at the end of the day, you will find out that business will go nowhere. That is what he's saying here. Walk on to that business. If your king, if your leader is a child, and your princes, they marry, they feast in the morning. Walk on to it. Hey, sorry. And that is the typical condition of Africa. Our kings are children. They are only feasting. I heard an American that visited Nigeria, and when he was going, he said, "Hi, Nigerian leaders like convoy. He's a multi-millionaire in dollars, the one that should be richer than most of our politicians." But he said he was so shocked. One man was coming, 16 cars. I and my wife were listening to him and we were laughing. He said, one man was coming, and as the man was coming, somebody came out from the security vehicle, and he came out and said, Eagle 2, Eagle 1 speaking, Eagle 1 speaking, the eagle has arrived, copy, and he was like, hey. And then they are all running everywhere, and he was looking, and one guy showed up from one car, and 16 vehicles brought him. What a waste of resources. Eagle 1, Eagle 2 speaking, the eagle has arrived. Who be the eagle? No, who be? Oh, dear God. I mean, and at the end of the day, we are just rotating a circle. Woe unto you. Woe unto you when thy king is a child and thy princes feast in the morning. That is Africa. Oh, you really think our problem in Africa is because there is a demon following us? No, our problem in Africa is leadership. We only have children as leaders. I'm telling you. Do you know what? Do you know that Africa is one of the most blessed continents in the whole world? In this same Africa, we have diamond. Are you aware of that? In Africa, we have gold. Are you aware of that? In Africa, we have uranium. They are busy fighting themselves over a... How will they, all these nuclear bomb they are fighting about? Do you know that uranium that they used to make it comes from Niger? No, how do you explain that a nation like Ghana, gold? Do you realize that diamond is predominantly from Africa? Is that kind of a place cursed? Please answer me. Is Africa cursed? Do you know how much as a nation we make from crude oil that we export to the Western world? It's just that we are in what is called modernized slavery. And it is a strategy of the West to keep us in slavery. Africa is, okay. We have always had this notion that Africa is cursed. That's why we are where we are, isn't it? Say black man, white man pass black man for everything. Who told you? That is the information that was sold to us. I heard someone make this statement and it's becoming wrong, and I think I should address it. They say the reason why Africa is like this is because the black man was cursed. That Noah cursed his son Ham. Isn't it? They say no. See, we only have Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Isn't it? True? And African descent is Ham. Can we do a little Bible theology? Let's go to Genesis chapter 9. Now, the sons of Noah. Can we have this thing displayed? What's going on? Now, the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham was the father of Canaan. Now, see where their argument is coming from. Because these three were the sons of Noah. And from these, the whole earth was populated. And Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard. This is Genesis 9:18. We are in 20 now, right? Then he drank of the wine and was drunk, and became uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. So Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. Verse 25. Then he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants he shall be to his brethren." Now, to everybody, this is Africa. Come on, are you getting me? Come on, everybody, are we together? So, of course, they are right. Ham is the father of Africa. And it is actually Ham, they are right, that saw the father's nakedness. But I've got bad news for you. Ham was not cursed. Ham was not cursed. Who was cursed? I say, who was cursed? Canaan, his son, was cursed. Good. Now, Ham has 3 children. Ham had 3 children. The first son, one of them was Cush. Cush, Mizraim was Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Those were the 4 children of Ham. The 4 children of Ham who saw the nakedness of his father were number 1, Cush, okay, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Now, out of the 4 of them, the other 3 are the fathers of Africa. Canaan is not. As a matter of fact, Canaan is Middle East, where Israel went to take over. Hello? Hello? Mizraim is the Hebrew name for Egypt. So, Egypt, they took Mizraim, right? Cush, Ethiopia, Sudan, East Africa. That is Cush. If you check Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23, it says, can the Cushite change his skin? That's referring to the black skin. Okay? Mizraim is Egypt. Are we together? Put is where we have Libya, North Africa, and others. Then Canaan is the only one that is North Africa. And Canaan is the one that is cursed. So how is Africa cursed? Canaan. Have you forgotten Canaan is where they were trying to take over? The land flowing with milk and honey, and that is the cursed man. Eh? So how is Africa cursed? Let's stop deceiving ourselves. See, this is the message they have sold to us to keep us in slavery, because we are too blessed. But if we do not know, we will remain in bondage. Go and read your Bible very well. I just gave you a Bible reference. Go and read it and do your research. Hey, Africa is cursed, Abi. Let me ask you one more question. Where was the former world power before now? Please, in the time of Jacob, where was the world power? Give me the nation that was the world power. Egypt, come on. Where did most of the invention start from? Africa, Egypt. Egypt was the world power of that time. Oh, and now the same Africa is now cursed. There were some politics played on our brains. Someone here? It's clear now. Have you forgotten that Egypt fed the whole world for 7 years? Where did that go to? Tactics and strategy of the West to keep a blessed nation grounded. And I'll tell you what they did. World power, the places of war, was in this same so-called cursed place, Africa. See, they traveled all the way. Jacob traveled a far distance to go to Egypt, that's to Africa, and get food. So from the 4 sons of the man that saw his father's nakedness, which is Ham, the cursed one was Cain. So if you are really saying a nation is cursed today, go to the Canaanites. They are the cursed ones. Didn't he mention it here where we read? He said, Cain, he cursed Cain. You know, it's still a bone of contention today. How will Ham do something? You did not curse Ham. You cursed his son. If Noah had cursed Ham, then it will be a generational thing to spread to his 4 children. But he singled out one, the son of the one that saw the father's nakedness. He said, you are cursed, servants of servants. Well, maybe what they are doing in Israel today is the curse. Is that the cause? No, how do you explain that what is happening there? Of course, Canaan is where we have the Israelites, we have the Palestinians, Lebanon, Syria. They are the cursed ones. They are the cursed ones. So, how can you now explain that Africa is cursed? Look up here. Look up here. I want to help you. You know what the West did? They turned our strength to their strength. Took away our strength and made us look like weaklings. This is clear. Everybody, do you realize that the strength of this continent called Africa has been farming from onset? Come on, answer me now. True? What were your fathers doing? Farming. Africa has the most fertile land in the whole world. Go and do your research. You have a phone. You have a number. Do your research. The most fertile land in the whole world. When our fathers were born entrepreneurs. But if you remain an entrepreneur, you will become greater than anybody out there. So you know what they did? They brought what they call civil slavery. We call it civil servants. But that is slavery. The West brought it. You know what they told our fathers? What are you doing with this farm? Don't worry. Give me your cocoa. Give me your orange. I want to start a company. How much will you sell all this place for me? And he bought. And said, come and start working for me. I will put you on salary. I will take you to my nation, in fact. I will take care of your children. I will put them in school. I will do this. And our fathers looked at them and said, Our fathers who were entrepreneurs, working for themselves, began working for the whites. They told them they will take them to their nation. What is special about your nation? They told them we'll give you a special kind of clothes, their clothes for us. And today we see them as superior. That is why even the children we raise idolize a white skin. Terrible. We call them Oyibo. See, now even Oyibo, even if it's Oyibo that is poor, dying in his country, the moment he enter Africa, we worship them. Say, now Oyibo, now Oyibo. I thought Oyibo. Even our children have been raised to worship a white king. May God save us. Who told you that we are less? I'm giving you history and we are checking scriptures. They told you the black man is cursed. This is a strategy. They understood that these people are so blessed. So they came and started taking what we have. Until today, they are still taking it. That is why our leaders can rarely be good. Because they are all bought over by the West. What do you think is the interest of places like France in Africa? It's our resources. How can you explain that a lot of our leaders have refineries in the Western world and we do not have refinery here? Why do you think they fight it for us to have? Because the idea is keep sending all your raw materials to us. We will produce and send it back to you. They do not have it. We have it all. So they tell us that you people are cursed. So you know what they did to us? They made our fathers who were entrepreneurs. They made them went into servanthood. Servanthood. Now I want to say something here and I want to say it. When our fathers were entrepreneurs and farming their family, we were not dying like this. Were our fathers having the sickness we are having? Because they were eating from their farm. Today we are eating the white man's food, which is poison. Canned food. Did our fathers produce canned food? No. Tomato from their farm is what they were eating. Pepper directly from their farm. But today, Indomie, before you know, they say you have cancer, you have this, you have that. Why weren't our fathers having these sicknesses? Let me advise you. If you want to be liberated from this nonsense, I want to say this. Everybody, if you are wise, everybody go back to farming. Go back to the trade of our fathers. You have one land in the village. Go there and plant something. That is how our fathers survive. But today, we are roaming around the city looking for jobs. That is the idea. Some of you in the city are suffering more than your relatives in the village. You are only dressing finer because you have embraced the Western culture. You have embraced it. You are here forming city girl because you have an Android phone and you can take selfie without food in your stomach. But the people over there, they can farm, eat, and send the food down here. Let me ask you. Imagine that all of us continued in the trade of our fathers' farming. And we held on to our heritage. Of course, our raw materials, our mineral resources are still in our land. Imagine the kind of food that will be leaving Africa to the whole world. Some of the things that grow so easily in Africa, they cannot see it there. They cannot. They cannot. It is a blessing given to us as a country. But no, they told you, leave all those things. Do you know what your farm, that your father's land in your village can produce for you? Eh? Fine. Okay. Let me be a little bit more practical. Let me use at least an average person. If you go to your village, somehow you will see up to 4 plots of land. True? That you have inside one bush, some of you even up to 10, some even more than that. But it is there today only housing animals. Okay, let me say this. Let's say you go to that your farm, that land now. Just go and carry, let me use something that is very common and easy. Very easy. Okay, good. Let me use pawpaw. You can easily buy 500 naira pawpaw and get up to 300 seeds inside it. True? Let's say you carry it and go and plant 300 seeds of pawpaw in that your land and come back and continue your hustle. Then you get 100 coconuts and plant there in that your land and come back and continue. Now let us calculate this. How much is one pawpaw? We are going to do this together. 500 naira, right? Now, in a year, can you estimate like how many bunches of pawpaw do you see coming out from a pawpaw tree? Let's estimate now. On an average, let's call it 50. Right? 50 times 300. 50 times 300 is what? 15,000. 50, sorry, 50. Yes, you have 50 into 300 places. How much will you have? 15,000. So in a year, your papa will give you 15,000 papa seeds that you can sell. At how much again? 500. That means at the end of the year, 500 naira times 15,000 is what? 500 naira times 15,000. Is that not 7.5 million? Do your calculation. Somebody fast. 15,000 times 1,000 is 15 million now. Right? So if it's 500, it's 7.5 million. How many did you plant? Have you done the calculation? Your calculator is not carrying it. 15,000 times 500. I'm waiting for you. Okay, even the children are calculating. So we think 7.5 million. You are smiling. 7.5 million. How much did you buy the 500 naira? And you got 300 seats inside. And you are roaming the city. No, the thing did not say go back to the village and stay. Oh. No, continue in the city and be flexing. But just plant me. Okay, this is only 300, Abi. Now imagine you have up to 40 plots and you decide to spread it everywhere. That is one, Abi. What about coconuts? What about coconuts? The modern coconut now comes out if you see it comes out even up to 100. It keeps coming out. And it's now imagine that you spread up to 500 in your own village. Let's not do that calculation so that you will not have a bad dream. Now, are you seeing? I'm driving at something. Oh, so the West pulled you away from your original job that your fathers gave us and brought us to roam around and say things are hard. You know why? So that they will continue to send us small aid and say we are sending 2 billion to Nigeria, and then your government will eat 1.5 billion and carry 500 million and say we are giving palliative of 5,000 naira to everybody, and you will be going to queue to collect 5,000. That is why I say everybody, go. You have a land in your village. Go back to the original business of our fathers. The West have only deceived us. Are you hearing me? Yes. They have only deceived you. They took away the real us. Why? They want to make us slaves. Do you hear that our fathers die at 50? You begin to hear of all manner of sickness. Somebody just stay like that. His stomach just started swelling. Because they ate healthy. Today, it's poison that is all over the supermarkets in the name of food. It's poison. But our fathers lived healthy. Our generational heritage was taken away. Are you here with me? Are you here with me? So you see, my brothers and sisters, we are not cursed. Tell someone you are not cursed. We are only deceived. And that is why the West want to make sure they have a say in who becomes our leader. Because nobody should ever liberate them. Do you really think you need the Western world? You think we really need them? No. They know. They know that Africa can stand as a giant without them. So at all costs, look for what to do to keep them in bondage. And it's a bondage of our mind. Mental bondage. See, some of the brains running the world are Africans. But you know what they will do to us? When they see that you are so good, they will carry you there. And when they carry you, they'll say, would you want to be a citizen? Why? Back home, they have made sure that we have bad leadership by paying our leaders heavily. They pay them heavily. If else, what do you think? How do you think that a nation will be fighting to make sure that a particular person remains the president of a nation? That fight was on. And I think it's still on. It's still on in Burkina Faso. They are strong. Make sure this man comes back. You must come back. What is your interest? make sure, because that person was put there by them. Siphon the resources of the nation. Take it to us. See, cut off most of these nations. Cut off Africa from them. They are nothing. See, it's time for us to rise up and know that we have been sold a lie. We have been sold a lie. We are not cursed. Are you hearing me? We are not cursed. No, how? I can't understand how you will be crying of money and you have land in your village. Eh? You know, I was doing the calculation. My little farm, just my fish farm. I used plantain to put around just a small place, and just as fencing, I put like 21. And I was looking at them, I said, see, it just looks small. 21 plantain come out. How much is plantain? 10,000 times 21. You see, it looks like nothing, but it can feed you. Are you feeding the thing you planted? No. God has put the strength on the ground. See, our prosperity is in the ground, but we run away from it because we want to embrace clean job. We call it white collar. I want to be able to talk in and go to work. I told a man, I said, hey, why not begin to, get food from your village and be selling? He said, man of God, you hate me like this. I said, how do you mean? He said, no matter how the suffering is, will I stoop so low to such a business? I said, who? Sorry, stoop so low? Stoop so low. So you mean famine is low? No wonder we are suffering. And they want you to keep suffering. Africa is a blessed place. It's time for us to rise up. Are you hearing me? African youth, wake up. And let's not be deceived by these people. There is more to our lives. There's more to us. Where the money is in that same dirty place. These same people. See, nobody can be alive without eating. Are you getting me? Nobody can be alive without eating. And no food can come out without the ground. And that ground is what has been blessed for us as a continent. I've told you, you want to prosper, and you want to prosper very fast. Go back to your village and plant something. Slap someone that says plant something. You are not a complete Africa if you have not planted something. Did you hear me? See, there can never be a point in my life. It's not possible. I have too much on that. There can never be a point in my life where there is nothing planted. What made Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob prosperous? His family. Are you aware? Can't you see that this is no? But today we are roaming around looking for what we call white collar job, which is what the West sold to us. Slavery. No, I'm not saying there should be no job, but let's not neglect the blessing our fathers gave us. I just calculated 300 per pot to you. 300. And some of you have places that can do far more than that. A friend of mine came from South Africa, and I was with him, I think last year or so. And we were looking for where to buy. He needed to buy ginger, garlic, pepper, and all these things to take back. I said, what are you doing with them? He said, my brother, they are producing drugs with it over there. And that is what your village can produce. As at that time, you know how much we bought? We bought one bag. I think one bag was 180 something thousand. And I was like, Jesus, I didn't know it's that expensive. As at then, but not now. How much is it now? 800. Jesus. And you are sitting down like this? 800. No, do you know how many of that bag can come out from a little piece of land? It is the blessing of God in the ground. See, Africans do not have a reason for poverty. The only reason we have is a lie we have been sold to. That until you look nice, you cannot make money. Some of your cousins and your third cousin in the village are far better than you people that are roaming around Calabar. Because they are in our original business. Again, hear me, Africa is not cursed. Anybody that told you that Africa is cursed because Ham saw the nakedness of his father, show him this scripture we read. Hope you understand the scripture we read. He said, Canaan was cursed. And Canaan is not Africa. Of course, you know Canaan is not Africa. And even the so-called cost Canaan, they are doing very well. It is a lack of knowledge. It is a strategy of evil men that have kept us where we are. But we are rising up strong. Africa is rising up strong.